Hi, everyone that's joining me. Sorry, just having a little adjustment here. We'll get started in just a moment. Let a few folks come in, and we'll get started in just a second. One more moment, and we'll get started. Right. Hi, everyone. All right, we are going to get started. Hopefully, everyone can see my screen. We're leveraging WPI Alumni Network for career opportunities. My name is Stefano DeAngelis. I'm the Assistant Director of Employer Relations here at the Huebner Career Development Center. And we are going to do a little overview about networking. This is an important component to the overall job search, the strategy. We're going to talk about a number of different points today, and hopefully you're doing some networking already. But if not, this can help get you started, and we can look a little bit about our different opportunities available to us. So I like to start always with our mission statement at the HCDC. The WPI Huebner Career Development Center's mission is to empower all degree-seeking students and alumni to identify and achieve their career goals through training, education, reflection, experiential learning, and partnership with employers. So my little joke, I'm the Assistant Director of Employer Relations. I talk to students and alumni, and I talk to employers, and I tell secrets to both sides. I want everybody to know what's happening. And I think the job search, the job application process is, it suffers from a lack of transparency. And if we're able to assist in any way to kind of peer behind the curtain about what's going on, we try to make that happen. So we are happy to help. Some of the goals for what we're going to go over today, how to best understand your current network, growing your network and branching out, the different types of networking that exists, and then we're going to touch on some informational interviewing as well. So networking as a WPI alumni. What network is available to you currently? Is it a social network? Is it a professional network? Ideally, you have a little bit of both. We're going to cover how do we tap into this network, regardless of which side is social or professional. A lot of the energies are going to be very similar. And then how do we expand our networking opportunities? And lastly, we're going to be constantly assessing, well, what kind of networking should we be doing? Should it be social? Is it better to be doing professional networking? What about the medium? Is it best to be virtual? Maybe you're not geographically located close to a lot of opportunities. So really, virtual networking is going to be the best option for you. Um, in person, if you can be in person, I'm a real big fan of let's get you in person, let's get you in front of the people that you want to be talking to and have that face-to-face connection. So looking at our current network, this is a very small model here, you in the middle, and some examples. Who's in your network? WPI classmates. I have former coworkers here in the top right, former coworkers, current coworkers, or maybe at a previous role. Who were your close coworkers? These are ideal people to be connected with. We have family. Um, we have bottom right, we have ASME, SWE, IEEE, professional organizations. We're going to talk a bit about professional organizations a little bit later on. Are you involved in any of these? If so, there's a whole built-in network surrounding this one point right here. To the left, bottom left, you'll see Running Club. This is an example of a social network, and we'll talk more about those in just a minute. But social networks are really powerful too. And I'm a real big fan of talking with lots and lots of people about different opportunities because you never know what their background is and who they're connected. Then lastly here, coming up on the left side here, are friends. Now, what I want you to think about is take this little 6-point diagram here and then add another 6-point to your WPI classmates, add another 6-point to your former coworkers, add another 6-point to family, to the professional networking, the running club, the friends. We start getting something that kind of looks like this little image that I found in the top right corner. It just starts growing exponentially. And that's really the network that I want you to be thinking about is we're going to start small and then we're going to start expanding. And that's the purpose of today is growing the network. So just thinking about 3 classmates of yours, if they each knew 3 people and those 3 people each knew 3 people, like we're already into triple digit, we're into triple digits really fast. There's a whole host of folks. If anybody has a LinkedIn account, you'll see that I think they do a great job with your first level connections, second level connections, third level connections. That's a really great way to look at it. How far away? Oh, I know that person. I've seen them in the news. Oh, I know somebody who knows them. That's amazing. You can figure out that person very quickly and be connected and have a complete stranger be a friend of a friend, which is amazing. So things that I want you to be thinking about are who are you connected to, number one. Who are the people that you're connected to? Who are their connections? And as we expand beyond this, these connections really do become exponential. And so this is a powerful way to think about connecting, growing. What seemingly may be an impossible connection to make might really only be a couple of phone calls away. So very, very interesting things to think about there. Moving right along into different kinds of networking. I'm going to start here with social networking and all the different kinds of networking. And this is just a small list, but some great areas for networking. Recreational fitness groups. So I wrote running club as a previous example. Running clubs are great if you like running. Intramural sports, adult soccer leagues or flag football, yoga, going climbing, going to a regular gym, getting some gym buddies, and just chatting like, oh, hey, it's I see you here all the time. But what do you do when you're not at the gym? Oh, you're a software developer? That's incredible. These conversations can be very easy, and they're available across all of these. So I've also listed, we have hobby groups, book clubs, gaming, video games. Obviously, you can connect online, which is fantastic. Board games, D&D is having an amazing revival right now, and so many. You can just have a fun time, but also connect professionally. Music jam. Are you a musician? Go find somebody to jam with. And theater and improv groups are great. for those looking to kind of scratch that creative itch. Other great opportunities: volunteering, food banks, community cleanups, tutoring programs, nonprofit boards. Are you passionate about something? That passion can lead to professional fulfillment. That's a very, I really want to encourage that passion for something that maybe not, wasn't your major, can be very rewarding, satisfying, and potentially lead to a career, or at least something that feels really good that you participate in. I'm a big fan of getting that creative outlet out, whether that's painting or playing music or sports or cleaning up your community. Always nice to help out. The next bullet point that I have here is attending alumni or community social events, and I've included a link here. So one of the best and easiest ways to network for those who maybe are a little bit less comfortable with it or less practiced, attending an alumni event, a WPI alumni event, and you can go onto this link here, www.wpi.edu/alumni/events. Our advancement group is doing a great job. They're advertising these events regularly as they come up. What's really cool, if one does pop up and you register for it, you can see your name alongside other alumni who are going to be there. They're often geographic spaces, so Boston is pretty popular, but it's not uncommon for us to have our alumni events in other cities. So I know that there's a community event that happened in LA last year. There's one in San Diego. They're all over. If you're not still local to WPI, that's okay. There are probably events that might happen, and if you know any other alumni in your area, reach out to the advancement office and say, I'd love to host something. I'm located in Spokane, and I know that there's a group of us. That's a great way to connect with even more alumni. And again, this is a really easy one, low lift. The common denominator here is you're all WPI graduates, and maybe you're able to connect with somebody in your field if you're looking to make that professional connection. So it's great. I highly encourage this. Last on this list here, being active in a faith-based or cultural organizations. Again, this is another one of these. All groups and professional backgrounds could be represented here. So if this is something that's important to you, I'm a big fan of attending and then asking some questions. Oh, hey, I see you at church all the time. What do you do? What do you do for a living? Great, easy way to connect some professional dots. And maybe it's not a good connection, but you've asked that question and you know who that person is now, and maybe you know somebody, maybe you're able to be a connector for this person. A lot of what we're going to talk about, obviously, networking, connections, communication is a major component for all of this. We're going to segue now into, these create, this is what I love about social networking. These create recurring low pressure interactions with the same people. There's no stress point. We're not looking, we're not interviewing for a job on this. We're just talking to potential friends. And this is great because you build connections around shared values, communities, and service. You're joined because of your passions, and you're going to be doing things together. And who knows where it goes from there? But at least you have a great group of folks that you're able to enjoy some time with, and maybe you're doing some good at the same time. Segueing over to professional networking as a WPI alum. As I mentioned before, one of the big things is being involved or being present. And these are just a few of our majors. So if one of these majors, you found yourself in one of these majors while you're here at WPI, I've listed out a few of the professional organizations that are associated. So just calling out a couple here, we have the Association for Computing Machinery, IEEE. They're a big one. They cover a lot of different areas of engineering. American Society of Mechanical Engineers, the BMES, the Biomedical Engineering Society, and then AIAA, the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics. These organizations, I included the website, so please take a look at them if you're not familiar already. These organizations host events throughout the year, whether they're virtual events, virtual meetups, conferences. They're fantastic. I personally attend a number of conferences throughout the year. One that's not listed here is Mass Bio Ed. On the biomedical engineering, you'll see Mass Bio. There's a different organization, Mass Bio Ed, and that brings educators, employers within the life sciences field, students, and people looking to connect and network. It's a great thing. And then another one is ISPE that happens at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. And this is, again, more of a life science, sort of your BME, chemical engineering, mechanical engineering. And there are hundreds of employers there. And they may be demonstrating a product that they build or they manufacture, or they're looking to hire. And so these events can be really, really rewarding. And on the right here, you'll see professional organizations offer meaningful opportunities to network with professionals and organizations, stay informed on cutting edge topics, and learn new processes and techniques while remaining actively engaged in the field. So for our individuals that maybe graduated but really didn't get a position within their field, for our individuals who maybe took a role that was a little askew from really where they want to be, this is a great way for you to stay connected, stay up to date, know what's going on in the industry, who are the movers and shakers, who are the employers, who are the companies that are doing the things that you're really interested in, and this is the opportunity to connect with them. I'm a real big fan of this as a component of professional networking. And like I said, some of this can be done virtually, maybe in the regular meetups, depending on where you are. If you're a little bit farther away from where the in-person meetups happen, maybe the virtual ones are a much better value proposition for you. And then the calendar are usually pretty well in advance advertised for the big events. Adding that to your calendar, making the effort to go and attend that. They can be a lot of fun. You probably will see people if you're connected. And if not, this is a great opportunity to meet new people. So tapping into and expanding our network, this is where a lot of the work is going to happen. So you're connected with somebody on LinkedIn. You have looked through our diagram before. You know who your friends are, who your classmates, or maybe your current coworkers or your former coworkers. Really, depending on that relationship, is going to dictate your communication. So the first bullet point right here is personal and professional emails, calls, and texts. If you're friends with somebody, you can just send them a quick text. You can give them a call, send them a pretty informal email. I mean, that's acceptable. You're going to be the best judge of what is the appropriate communication for a set individual. Did you get a referral to reach out to somebody who you don't know? You're really going to want to follow a very standard professional format. Dear blah, blah, blah. I was referred to you by our mutual friend, Jim. You'll go in that direction. So very formal. You'll make the request, or just make the connection request. This kind of goes for the same thing for LinkedIn messages or other professional or social platforms. You'll want to maintain an air of professionalism. I will make the recommendation, if you are sending a LinkedIn message to someone, they're getting spam, they're getting messages. I would be very clear, direct, and as brief as possible. So try not to send them a full letter in a LinkedIn message. Um, dear person X, um, I was recommended you by our mutual association with um, this company. I'd love to talk to you about your role in your company and how you've found that and what are your experiences. I'm very interested in learning more about XYZ. You want to keep it on point, you want to be respectful, and be pretty quick. Be pretty quick about it because everyone's so busy. So that's how you want to address that. When you request contact information from a friend or family, this is you're trying to get that referral. So, hey, who do you know? I'd love to reach out. I'd love to have I'd love to talk to somebody, get a little bit more information. You'll see in the right on the red under our diagram of our goats problem solving here. What's our real purpose here? Our main goal is data acquisition. When we're tapping into and expanding our network, we are looking for information. Yes, we are looking for connections. We're looking for new opportunities, but really we're looking for that information first. So bouncing back over to our left side here, we want to know, hey, who do you know? Who do you know that I should talk to? Get that contact information. If you can get them to maybe send a message, hey, my friend's going to be reaching out to you to ask your advice or ask your opinion on some stuff. I hope you don't mind. I'd like to share your email with them. Obviously that's a really great way to start the conversation. So it's a warm lead versus a cold lead, which can be very challenging. Again, attending events, I'm going to say this again and again and again. If possible, you should attend events in person where you can connect with other individuals. This is going to be the best way for you to expand your network. And I'll say, an event could be a panel discussion with networking afterwards on AI, for example. Make note of who's speaking. Where do they work? Maybe there's a brochure, so that makes it very easy, but or an agenda. But try to connect. Think about what they said. Does anything resonate with you? The folks are volunteering their time to attend to these. They want to share. They want to speak. So don't feel like you're bothering them. After the panel or at the event during the networking, go walk up and say, "Hey, I really appreciate what you were talking about today. I think about this all the time. What's your take on this?" You start that conversation, and at the end, what we're trying to do here is the next bullet point: create a connection. And then you need to follow up. So you've created the connection. You've had this great conversation with this panelist who is an expert in the area. You're there. They can read your name tag if we're at an event like that. And hey, I'd love to get your email address. Would you mind? I'd love to talk to you a little bit more about this at another time. Get that information. Get that email. Say, hey, I'm gonna email you tonight just so I don't forget. I'd love to hear back from you when you can. If this is a kind of person that an informational interview is good for you, make that request. Again, we're going to be very professional. We're going to be, formal. Jim, it was so great to speak with you at the panel. I'd love to learn some more about what you do and what you're seeing in this space. Would you be available for a 15-minute virtual coffee? Something of that nature. Or I'm going to be in the area by your office next week. Can I take you out? Can I take you out for a coffee or buy you lunch? I'd love to chat a little bit more. Being professional is so. This is going to really help. Like you're advertising who you are, and if this is somebody that you potentially want to be working with, this every interaction is an audition. So remember that's a constant. Maintaining that professionalism. And again, just bouncing back over to our right, our main goal, data acquisition. Who's hiring? Who do I need to talk to next? Upcoming events. When can we do this again? Who else is having an event like this? Um, if you have that informational interview, this was so great. Thank you so much. If you had any recommendations, who should I talk to next about learning a little bit more about this? This is a great. This is you're generating more leads. So definitely ask those questions. Ask those questions. People want to help, especially if they've taken time out of their schedule to come and meet with you. The who's hiring question, like who's operating in this space, who is who's active right now. I want to know, you want to know. We want to find this out. Where should you be orienting yourself through your networking? Um, and then this last little line again, remember these people you know or want to know at these professional events or these interactions. So you're going to be polite, professional, respectful. This is so important. As I just said, every interaction is sort of an audition, and maybe it leads somewhere, maybe it doesn't, but you definitely want to be known as a professional individual. And that's a great way, whether you're connecting with an individual who is your primary contact or your primary target, or they're going to help you get to a better place. You want people to continue to help you. So it's sort of like staying top of mind, being pleasant, being polite. Uh, get the recommendation. So we've worked our magic. We've connected, and we've made a request and received a positive response in terms of a formal informational interview. If you've never done an informational interview, it's really just a conversation. You want to be pointed in what you're asking, but you also want to be very respectful. And it's not just about you and your data acquisition. You want to learn more about this person, and you want them to want to help you. You want them to leave this with continuing to want to help you. And so what we have here on the left side here, connecting with a professional. What is an informational interview? Connecting with a professional to learn more about a company, culture, specific role, or industry. To be very clear, you are requesting someone's time, and time is precious. People are busy. It's really hard to say, yeah, I can stop working to just talk to you about this thing. Um, that's an amazing thing that they're doing. So I definitely want to call that out and be very appreciative should someone offer up their free time to or their very busy time to speak with you. I think the virtual coffee chat is becoming very popular. Somebody can just take a break from work. Maybe this is 10-15 minutes. That's a very easy proposition. The in-person informational interviews can be a little bit more challenging, takes a little bit more to wrangle. I would make the recommendation to you that you should go to that person. If they're in office, you should find the coffee shop, find the lunch spot that's near them. If you know that that person is working remote and they live three streets down, you're in a great spot. You can go locally. Hopefully, you have a great lunch spot and offer to take them out, and to thank them for their time. It is easier to ask for an informational interview in person when you're face to face. So maybe we're at one of our events and we've connected with somebody, and you're saying, "This is so great. I'd love to chat more about this topic with you. Could I set up an appointment with you for sometime in the next 2 weeks?" There are good feelings if it's a good conversation. That person's probably going to say yes. Um, a lot easier if the message comes through in LinkedIn, you don't see it for 3 weeks. It's a lot more effective if it's in person. Now, the virtual or the digital messaging and requests are effective as well, and they do work. It just might be we have less control about the other person seeing that, receiving it. So there are just more challenges. And again, if we are reaching out to a cold lead, so somebody we've never met before, we maybe it's an alumni at a company that we're interested in, they might not see it, or they might just. I get a lot of spam. It can be challenging. I liken this to fishing, quite literal fishing. You can bait the hook, you can cast the line. You do not control if the fish are going to bite. And this is where we don't have that control in sending a, a virtual request or a digital request to a person that we don't really know. We don't really have a lot of control there. So it is important, as I mentioned earlier, to have really pointed, direct messaging in that message should that be where you go. And people will respond. So you might get a lot of misses, but if somebody does respond to you, that's amazing. They've taken the time to respond. They're probably gonna agree to an informational interview in some form. All that being said, referrals help. If you can get a referral from your network of, hey, who should I talk to? You used to work at company X. Who do you know over there? Who can you put me in contact with? That's a real big advantage for you. And then lastly, again, and I said this before, I'll continue to say it, being professional, respectful of other people's time, very, very, very important. We'll get into the do not do. Overstep your time limits. If you've requested a 15-minute coffee, virtual coffee or an in-person coffee meetup, we have to acknowledge that this person is giving you 15 minutes. They're not giving you 16 or 20 or 30. They're giving you 15. If it goes longer, that's okay. But that's something that you should ask for and acknowledge. Hey, it looks like we're just about out of time. I'd love to keep talking with you if you're free, but if not, I understand, and I'd love to maybe set up something else in the future. But just being very respectful about that, so important. I'm going to bounce back up to what should you do. So looking to set up these informational interviews. Maybe it's a phone call. Just confirm. Hey, is now still a good time to talk? Life happens, meetings pop up. Maybe now is in fact not a good time to talk, and you just need to do a quick reschedule. Researching in advance of the meeting, of any meeting, really. This is good practice. Whether this is an interview, maybe you're presenting something, or you're trying to connect with an individual over an informational interview, you really want to do your research in advance. You want to be prepared. This is the most important. This person's giving their time, you've connected, you've driven out to meet them, and then you don't have questions prepared. There'll be dead space in the conversation. It won't feel good, and this person's probably going to not want to connect with you again in the future. And so maybe it's a missed opportunity. Do request information. Do not request a job. Yes, if we're doing networking and informational interviewing for the purposes of employment, that is given. We want a job, absolutely. But we're in data acquisition mode. We are looking to learn as much as possible. If at the end of this informational interview, this person really got a great feel for who you are and that you might be a great addition to their team, hey, this was really fantastic. Thank you so much for asking for this interview, this informational interview or this meeting. Do me a favor, send me your resume. Send me your resume. I want to pass it along for you. Don't make this request. Let them make let them offer that to you. And this happens. This absolutely does happen. As we said before, ask for referrals. This was so great. Thank you so much. I learned so much from talking to you. Any suggestions on who else I should speak to? I'd love to learn a little bit more, maybe from some different perspectives. Who should I talk to? So now we're building a referral pipeline, and maybe we are every connection, we're working our way towards our end goal, whatever that may be. Something that you can ask for. I'm looking to get started in this field. I don't have a lot of contacts in it. Would you mind looking at my resume to see if my formatting and my descriptions really align with what the industry in the field is looking for? Um, if they're in that role, if they review resumes regularly, they're probably very comfortable with saying, absolutely, I can look at this in about a minute and give you, a couple of things to work on. That's really a fantastic offer if they're willing to do that. Absolutely, 100% be courteous. That's again with their time. They're giving up their time to be with you, so we're going to be very appreciative and thankful. And then lastly, send a thank you note, whether that's just however your communication was, whether it was a text message, if it was email. Um, See if you can try to send them some appreciation in some form. Um, Again, that's gonna be a text. This is gonna be just a quick email. Hey, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me. Really appreciate it. I did feel like I had a few more questions. Would you mind if I asked those just via email, or would you be interested in just a virtual coffee chat? Would love to connect a little bit more about this. And of course, if you know where their office is, um, and you want to send them a physical thank you note that you've written out and signed, I promise you, they haven't received one in quite some time. They will post it up in their office on their desk. Um, it's and they'll think about it often. It's a wonderful thing that's kind of become old fashioned, but can be very, very impactful. So very quickly, we'll jump down to the do not do. We are not asking this individual for a job, and nor are we asking them to have our resume circulated around the office. Um, Let them offer that. This was such a great meeting. I'm so glad that we spoke. I think you'd actually be a really great fit on this team. Send me your resume. I want to bring it over to HR. I'd like to present you for a position that I know that's opening up. Like, let them do that. Obviously, you're working towards getting there, but what you're trying to do is really set yourself up for that opportunity. And a lot of companies are just going to say, "Oh, you've got to apply anyway. You can use me as a referral." So the next step of coming right out and asking for that job can be a little off-putting. And I know it's direct, but it's a little bit of the game that we need to play. Do not, I talked about this in the do your research. Do not show up unprepared. It looks like you're just wasting this person's time, and that's a real great way for them to immediately stop helping you. So definitely be prepared. Have some questions ready. Know the direction of the conversation that you'd like to go in. That way, you can make sure that you're getting the most out of this time as well, because it is kind of a two-way street as well. So do not focus entirely on yourselves. This is a learning experience. Ask them what they do. Ask them how they got started. Ask them what they like about the job. Ask them what they like about the industry or their company or whatever. This person is sort of this is your person on the inside, and you get to learn lots and lots and lots of things. And people love talking about themselves. So give that person an opportunity to say, well, this is what I do, and this is what I see. And, you know, I am, I'm an alumni as well, and this is what I learned, and you probably saw that, and this is kind of what I work on that. Let them talk a little bit about themselves. You're going to learn a lot about what they do and what they see from an insider's point of view. So very beneficial for you as well. But yeah, definitely do not make this all about you. I said this before, I'm going to say it again. Do not overstep your time limits. Be very respectful. You can ask for more time, but do not be disappointed if they say, nope, I'm so sorry, I have to go. And you'll say and do not forget to say thank you. You're going to say thank you. You're going to send either a text message or a email or a LinkedIn message, thank you. Or if you have some stationery, send a thank you note. And lastly, some resources that are available to everyone as an alumni. Just to say this, you have resources for life. So please do. I appreciate that you're attending this or watching this recording. Please do take advantage of our resources. Some of the best things that we have listed. Go to our website. It's listed right there. There are lots of drop downs. There's tips and tricks across the career landscape. So today, of course, we're talking about networking, but if you have a question about resumes or cover letters or salary negotiation, please go and take a look at that. Another thing that I'll draw your attention to is um, our destination, our results. There, we collect all of the information from where our graduates are working, and if you're looking to find new employment, looking at that based on your major or field um, can be a really great insight into which employers are hiring WPI current students, of course, and they're likely to be interested in alumni as well. So I always think that's a great place to go visit to get started if you're in the data acquisition phase of your search. What companies are even good companies for me to look at? These companies love WPI students. They're going to hire more. Um, if you're qualified as an alumni, they're going to want to talk to you too. So, highly encourage, go visit our website. Another platform we have is Handshake. I've included the link here. Um, you can make appointments with us, the professional staff here at the HCDC. We can discuss more networking, of course, or some of the other topics within the job search process. There's also a job board. I will say that the further removed from graduation you are, the less opportunities that may be obvious for you. But I definitely think it is worth an opportunity, worth your time to take a look to see what companies are hiring, whether that's for internships, co-ops, or entry level. And if you've advanced beyond that, they have other levels. Take a look at these companies. They're maybe not posting the appropriate level for you on Handshake, but this is a great research opportunity. So you can jump over to LinkedIn or Indeed or another one of the job platforms or their company website directly to see what positions that have that may align more with your experience. One last thing that I'd love to mention about Handshake are the numerous virtual events that are hosted on Handshake from companies across the country about opportunities. And this may be work in a field. It could be a government agency that's hosting virtually. It could be an insurance company. It could be a manufacturer, a major manufacturer. Um, they may be talking about what it's like to work in their field, or they're emerging. I've attended events regarding the CHIPS Act and what that would potentially create for opportunities within the ECE field. The NFL Hall of Fame hosts events, and they talk about data science. And so I highly encourage taking a peek at the events. Um, there are in-person events as well, but the virtual ones, all you have to do is just register, and they'll send you a link, and you can attend. So highly valuable. Worth repeating, I've included the WPI alumni events. If this is something you're interested in, this is low lift, just connecting with other WPI alum. I think that's this is a great thing that's accessible to everyone in some capacity. I would check this link out periodically and see when the next event is that you can attend. And then lastly, please email us with any questions that you might have. cdc@wpi.edu. We're here to help. Your email will be forwarded to the most appropriate person, and it might be, hey, let's get you set up with an appointment on Handshake, which can be virtual. If you live nearby, you can of course come into the office with an appointment. But virtual appointments are so easy, and we'll gladly accommodate that, and we're happy to talk to you. So with that, I'd like to say thank you, everyone. If there are any questions, I'm happy to take those now. And if not, this recording will be available, and you can review it in the future. So I'll open it up to any questions from the group, and happy to chat. And if not, I'll say thank you. And I hope this was helpful. And maybe we'll see you in the office or in a virtual appointment in the future. Oh, thank you. Thank you, everyone. I'll close the webinar now. And thank you for attending and thank you for watching Alumni Networking.